Today, I want to talk about detachment. And I got this idea from reading The Invincibility Code by Dr. Shaurice Mullins. And there's a section in there, it's the power of detachment. And it seems kind of weird, like power and detachment really don't go hand in hand. Like when you detach from something, you release. It's kind of a floating feeling. But contrary to what you may think about detachment, as we roll out with this episode, I think you're going to see that the attachments in your life are what's hindering your progress, are what is some of the greatest sources of frustrations, is because you're attached when you should be detached. Dr. Mullins writes, the power of detachment is a spiritual tool that can open us up to boundless possibilities. Love that. You want boundless possibilities in your life? Then you have to look at detachment as a spiritual tool. I never thought about detachment being a spiritual tool because it's not some sort of mindset or strategy that you do. It's way deeper than that. Mullins writes that detachment can actually open you up to the mysterious plans of the universe without worrying about how things will turn out. I love that. It opens you up to the mysterious plans of the universe. How many times have you tried to play God? How many times have you tried to play universe that you know what's best in your own life? And you get so entrenched in these attachments that you're just trying to jam an outcome. And Mullins says when you look at detachment as a spiritual component, you release, you free yourself from any certain expectation. An expectation will be a timeline or a specific outcome in a timeline. You release all of that and you open yourself up to the mysterious plans of the universe. In short, detachment's freedom. You want more freedom in your life. Dude, I can't tell you how many times I've said that. Man, I want more freedom. Detach. And when I say freedom, this is going to create freedom in your mind and your emotions and your energy. Energy is key. Lately I was thinking to myself, and like, man, just like the last couple of days, just been like drained of energy, and I don't know why. I mean, just like drained. And when I'm reading this, I'm like, well, let's take a look at the attachments that you have and these attachments to these specific outcomes. I'm 51. Many times I burn this emotional and physical currency trying to right the wrongs of my past, trying to get things set straight, right? And so I'm attached to all these things in the past. Sometimes I find myself where I'm just trying to swing for the fences all at once. And to Mullins' point, detach from all of that. This is what's building up this mind clutter and layering in these toxic emotions and draining my energy. I mean, think about it in your own life. How many times have you burned yourself out trying to force something to happen? You pushed, you shoved, you stressed out, you blew up, you did all these things. And when we have those moments, we have to detach and notice what the universe is saying. The universe is like, nope, not yet. You're not ready. So maybe it's a layer of protection. I've talked about that. Maybe it's a form of efficiency, that there's some things that you need to be more efficient at this level. Maybe this, what you think you want, is not what the universe has in store for you. Maybe you need collaboration. You become more and more siloed. Hand raised on that one. Become more and more siloed, and in this world bubble yourself, and you've locked out the world. And the universe is saying, zoom out, detach, collaborate. What I really like about when I read this is it's more of a playful mindset. I take life very serious, but sometimes I just do things too seriously. And because I don't get a specific outcome, I get all butthurt about it. Kind of lash out. I'm learning that when you can detach, you let go of the need to control the outcome. There are things outside of your control. We have to recognize that. And I get it, man. That's just how we're wired. We're wired to try to control everything. Detach. And when you do so, you create the space. That's important. You create space for bigger and better things to happen. Back to the book, detachment encourages resilience in the face of challenges. Now, let me talk about resilience. What is resilience? It's the capacity to simply recover quickly. That's all it is. This is what makes someone tough. Not because they don't fall down. It's just they refuse to stay down. They get back up and they bounce back. And you look at people who have some people have hit the wall moments and have splattered, and other people, and they just never were the person they once were. Or other people just have this uncanny knack to be able to they bounce. They hit hard. Life deals them a tough blow, but man, they were able to just spring back. It's because they've developed that resilience. And though they may not recognize it as I'm saying this, it could be because they're detached from specific outcomes and timelines, because there are other paths available, but you'll never see those pathways if you're attached to doing it your way. Your way is not the best way. And we got to detach from that. We got to recognize that, and we got to detach. So it's about developing that resilience, the capacity to recover quickly. I mean, if you had to think about it with athletes. Athletes have what's called a short refractory period, meaning that they don't stay locked in the last blown play. They missed a bucket. Boom, they shorten the time frame. They're on to the next play. They lose a game. Boom. They're studying that game film, trying to figure out the disconnects, and they're back in it again. They just don't ruminate like we do. We got to be more of life athletes. You're an athlete in life. We got to shorten this thing down so you can shorten the refractory period and actually be more tough. You want that if you detach. What's next? There's always next. You got to recognize that. Now, let me put a pin in that real quick. Detachment is not about giving up on your dreams. I'm not saying you're just this paper bag in the wind. It's not about giving up on your dreams, your goals, your desires. No. You should absolutely have those things. But detachment is releasing the rigidity of the timelines and the need for a specific outcome. Again, your dreams, your desires, your goals are important. That should be a direction. But you detach from the specific timeline that you built in. You could put a pin in it and say, look, 3 months from now, I'd like to be here. But just course correct along the way. It may be shorter, it may be longer. What's the saying? People underestimate what they can do in 10 years, and they overestimate what they can do in 10 weeks. Sometimes I think when we get all just built up with frustration and stuff, and we're just trying to jam this thing through, it's because you have these unrealistic timelines. Put pressure on yourself. Absolutely. Make things hard on yourself. Absolutely. You should. But that detachment releases you of the failure. It releases you of the doubt. It does. Sometimes, man, I think we just put ourselves in these self-imposed prisons. Again, we're attached to these mistakes, and we're trying to fix them. We're clinging on to this narrow vision of how things are supposed to turn out. And when it doesn't happen, we feel like the world's picking on us. And then we're frustrated, we're drained, we're assholes to be around. See, just analyze your attachments and begin to unsnap from these attachments, man. This mental and physical and emotional currency these cables that you have attached to these specific outcomes and timelines. Detach from it all. Pick a direction. Head in that direction. But maintain your curiosity, your creativity, your communication. Confront the obstacles. But you're going to be fine. And have that wonder and awe of the mysterious plans of the universe. What you got for me, man? I ask Big G that all the time. What you got for me, G? What you got? God. I play with it. What you got for me? Back to the book. This is important. Detaching from our desires can free up mental energy. Kind of touched on that. But I think it's worth really emphasizing. How often do you feel like your brain is just running on empty? Like your energy is just like there's nothing left in the tank. And you're so tired, you're so stressed, but you're so tired and stressed that even rest seems impossible, right? You ever had those times where you're so stressed out and you're like, bro, I need to rest, man. I just need a long week and just rest. And then that doesn't even seem to work. It seemed like it made it worse. That's because all of your attachments have drained your mental and emotional and physical energy. So when you detach, it's like clearing out a cluttered room. It's like deleting some of the old photos and videos in your phone. You're freeing up storage. That's what you need, man. We just keep adding more storage. We think we do. But the storage, the stuff that you're just cramming in there, and these you have these rooms and layers of attachments over the years. Now, dude, I'm not talking about the last 6 months. I'm talking about over the last course of your life. So you have all these things, man, and you're just cramming more and more in there. This is why you seem to go absent-minded. This is why you seem to just blow up out of nowhere. It's why you're drained. It's attachments, man. Look how difficult we make life. We do. Life is super simple. It's not easy, but it's simple. We should always keep it simple. So when you can begin to detach and clear out some of this clutter, it's like cleaning out your garage. You clean out this clutter, this is where you're going to make room for the creativity and innovation and new opportunities that you didn't see before. You couldn't see those things before. You couldn't be creative. You couldn't be more innovative because you had all this clutter. But when you begin to declutter, just detach from it all, man. And there's nothing physically you have to do. Just unclip. I just like that even mental picture that I have. Unclip from these things. It's like being on the side of a mountain down one of those cables and you're clipped to it. Man, just unclip. You won't hit the cliffs. You're not going to hit. You're going to be fine. I think Wayne Dyer put it so well. When you renounce all your attachments to the outcome, you will receive what you desire. That doesn't even sound right. That sounds ass backwards. Renounce all attachments to the outcome, and you will receive what you desire. He's dead on. Because when you really think about that and you let go of the need for things to look a certain way, you open yourself up to something even better. Now here's the power of detachment. Detachment builds trust and confidence in yourself. See, when you detach, you're no longer putting all of your faith in one outcome, one plan, one person, somebody else's decision. You're not. When you detach, you begin to develop trust and faith in yourself and what it is that you're doing. Back to what we were just talking about just a second ago. When you detach, you build resilience, which is the ability to recover quickly. And because you recover quickly, this is just another way. It all goes like cyclical, man. And so when you practice that and you recover quickly, this is a way of investing in yourself, and you're telling yourself, A, I'm not quitting. B, we're going to be okay. I have faith in myself. I have trust in my abilities. I'll get some more skills. I'll get some more reps. Something else is going to come. And what I thought I wanted, maybe that's not what's best. What else? That means there's something bigger. See the power of detachment on that? So when you can detach, this is going to allow you to take confident risk. I love that term, confident risk. You're confident. Remember, safe is risk. Risk is safe. So when you take risk, it's safe. Because when you don't take risk and you try to play it safe, you're limiting your possibilities. But when you look at risk as safe, you confidently step out there, you detach from any specific need of an outcome or timeline. I have that resilience. I have that faith. It's a spiritual component. I detach from it. Be fine. I can take the risk. And I release myself from the doubt and the fear of failure. And let me tell you something. A lot of it is unfounded. It's imagined fear or disappointment. You've already fear-casted, not forecasted, you've fear-casted what's going to happen, so you don't do it. But when you can detach and say, fuck it, let's do it. Let's try it. Let's see what happens. I'm going to be all right. I'm not saying be reckless, but I am saying take confident risk. There's more out there. When's the last time you took a risk? Just stepped outside your comfort zone. Let's just do that. So when you can do that, you can face the failure. Failure is an identity. Failing is part of the process. I can learn and grow from that. I can ask questions. I can get creative. I can communicate with myself. I can learn from this. And damn it, I'm coming back for more. I can confront. Back to the book. Through detachment, you create an atmosphere of acceptance. I love that term, atmosphere. Think of when you walk outside, it's the atmosphere. It's not just this little mason jar. No, you don't live in a mason jar. You live in this vast universe. The atmosphere is protecting you. So you have this atmosphere of acceptance. So if one path doesn't work, all right, got to be another side path here. What are we talking about? And sometimes you just got to practice that patience. Hold the line. Be curious, be creative, be playful, and detach. You can't do that if you're attached to everything. Detach. So let's wrap this up. Detachment isn't about giving up hope. It's about staying open and letting go of the need to control everything. You got to trust, man. There's a bigger plan at work for you. Your goals, your dreams, your desires, they're all important. But when you feel frustrated or you burned out or you're stuck, it's probably because you're too attached to how things look. You're too attached to a specific outcome and time frame. And maybe you're comparing it to the next guy. This guy was successful, this guy did it, and I should do it too in this amount of time. No, we're all in different paths in life. May take you longer. Doesn't mean you won't get there. And it damn sure means that it could be better if you learn to practice detachment. Dr. Mullins ends this chapter with this: detachment is one of the most powerful tools for manifesting our true desires into reality. That don't even sound right. Detachment is one of the most powerful tools, see it as a tool for manifesting our true desires into reality. You detach and let the universe do its thing for you. This is the only way you're going to manifest your true desires and bring these things into reality, she says. She's living proof. She's a self-made millionaire. And when you read the course of her life, she didn't start off that way. Got pregnant very young. So the question is, what are you holding on to too tightly? What attachments are draining your energy? Just detach. Let go. Trust yourself. Just pick a direction and head there. Work a simple process every day and let life just guide you. Stay open. And when you find that you're starting to get kind of tense, when you find that you're frustrated and you're becoming a little bit of an ass to people, you're a little short with people, You're starting to get kind of this alone. You're aloof. Don't want to do nothing with nobody. Detach. Detach. You give the universe nothing to work with. You won't see any other possibilities, any other paths. You can't because you're too fixated, too attached. And I'm not talking about just one attachment, man. Many times the attachments that you have, there are other tentacles that are attached to that. So it may be one thing that's attached to you, but then you have all these other tentacles that are just spread out like that. And so you're just trying to pull decades and decades of attachments. Don't have to do that. Detachment is freedom. Keep it simple. Keep it moving. Never settle. Stay detached. Stay tough. Peace.